Boy, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a big night on Sportswire Radio. Well, in some ways, it might be a celebration, but I don't know after what I saw at the end of BCW's historic September to Remember show, where it looks like our champion very well might be that master of brutality. But what did I just see at the end of the show? And did I see somebody raising something that I'm not quite sure where we go from there and that? And I'll talk with our guest about that. I'll certainly talk about our guest, his thoughts on maybe a new announcement that involves an old face also coming back, as it seemed to me that old faces are coming back now that the champ is here and everything else. And I'm going to certainly ask our champion about what the heck did Caden Gallows just say on Sportswire Radio last week. I mean, he talked about death and he talked about body bags and, I mean, he talked about burying people. I mean, I still don't even know where we go from there with that. I'll definitely get our guest's thoughts on that. Plus, who knows, whatever else. Plus, I promised our guest something if his company did something last month on Sportswire Radio. Well, they're going to get something and some. And I promise you it won't be a review from somewhere or a lump of coal for Christmas season coming. It'll definitely be something that maybe it'll show after all why our guest is a master of brutality, you might want to say. But it's always good we get to do two for the price of one here on Sportswire Radio. We are kicking things off early in prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform that you helped build on that road to 1,000 subscribers as we're getting ever so closer to the magic number. But we continue that road with a man that is certainly no stranger to this platform, and let's give him that championship-like introduction because, boy, do we have a lot to talk about when it comes to the world of BCW. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right to it. So, with that, further ado here on the Sports Report. Number one. Sports Show. He's the reigning, defending BCW World Heavyweight Champion. His name is simply put the Master of Brutality, Maxel Reeves. The champ is here. Champ, how are we doing?
We're doing great. I just came out of a successful defense with this title. Things are going good. So I'm ready to go, ready to answer some hard-hitting questions from the best in the business, the Reverend Thomas Bryce.
About that. Thank you, Maxel, for obviously appreciating coming on here. We do appreciate that. I will certainly say the check is in the mail. But obviously, it's good to be with you. There is a lot to talk about here, absolutely, when it comes to the world of BCW, because I don't even know where to start. But maybe I'll start off without going into the main event first. But I want to get your reactions on a couple of things. Let's go with current events, but in a different way. So the news was that we just saw on the BCW Instagram page that Tsunami is coming back to BCW. And I'm wondering, especially for those that are listening and watching here in prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all wrestling matters, Maxel Reeves as the BCW Pro Champion. What is your reactions to the word of Tsunami is coming back to BCW very, very soon?
So Tsunami's kind of been doing this thing. So after we came back from our hiatus in February, it took him a little bit to show up. Took him a little bit, to take his ball, pick up his stuff, and come over to where we are and perform. And it took him a while, frankly, because I don't think his heart is in this anymore. It's not where it should be. He's focused on the glam of professional wrestling. He's focused on the nice outfits. He's focused on meeting who he can meet. He's focused on the money. He's focused on everything that comes with wrestling. He's not focused on the wrestling itself. He lost. BCW is no longer his top priority in life. And as a result, he'll come in for a month or two or whatever, a few appearances, and then he'll, dip out, take a periodic absence, come back a few months later, and then all of a sudden he bitches and moans and complains, and and that's just who he is. That is his identity these days. There was a time in which he was a competitor I could respect, and I'll tell you exactly why he's coming back. He's coming back because now all of a sudden he can challenge for this BCW championship, and he thinks that he can waltz right into if he thinks he can waltz right into this company and get a shot at this title. No, he's absolutely wrong. Shots at the title go to people who deserve it, people who earn contendership. And a month ago, I held an open challenge at the start of September to remember. Where were you then, Tsunami? You weren't here. I would have loved for you to come out and accepted that open challenge. You weren't here. You failed to arrive. And now, as a result, you're not getting your match. And as we saw at the end of this latest episode of BCW, looks like we might be heading a different direction title-wise, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's fortunate or unfortunate for you, but, you're the champ, right? And I know he's the founder of the company. He's got, obviously, a history with this place. You talked about a couple of things, and I'm curious, though, for the audience, how does that make you feel that as the champion, that all of a sudden he wants to waltz back in? I mean, what's your feelings on that?
Well, just to piggyback off one thing you just said, you called him the founder.
He calls himself the founder of BCW.
He calls himself the founder. He's not the founder. That guy didn't found Jack. He didn't found.
Obviously.
He didn't. He is a liar. He's an egotist. He wants to take credit for BCW's success because he sees now that it is finally growing at rates that he never thought imaginable. And that is happening off of the success and the valiant work of others. And he wants to come in and he wants to take credit for that. That's why all of a sudden, once we start growing and we're in the most successful period of our lifespan thus far, he wants to come in here and he wants to take credit. He wants to say, I started this, I made this is mine. And he wants to demand respect from the fans for that reason.
So in his time as general manager, his time as champion, that's where you feel like he shouldn't get credit because of the new wrestlers or the newer success of the company. Let's go with that. That really, it's far-sighted from his standpoint to come back in here, waltz in, now that BCW's got all this momentum. Since you last came to Sportswire, BCW's gained 121 new subscribers. 121. And that's in 30 practically 29 days. That obviously Tsunami wasn't there for that. So if you think about it, this company is closing in on 700 subscribers. And that's a large percentage of those subscribers came in his absence. So really, from what you're telling me, that he can say he's the founder, he can talk about being a GM only once, but the recent growth of the company is really, in a way, he has nothing to do with.
And don't get me wrong, BCW doesn't exist without Tsunami. It doesn't. But what I have a problem with is he claims sole responsibility for founding this place. He wants to be placed on a pedestal above everybody else as the
every wrestler wants that, though. You know that. You're in this game a while.
Yeah, I've been there too. I've been there too. There's been times in my career where that's all I cared about. Now I care about being the best I can be and making BCW the best it can be. But I'm also capable of recognizing that, hey, this didn't happen just me. I didn't win this BCW championship off nobody. It isn't just me. It isn't just me and NJN in the company. Like it is. We have a expanded roster now from what we had a year or two ago. We have Caden Gallows. We have Sin. Who knows who else might be coming in? And as I understand, management's been talking with some people. I don't know how much. I don't know how much that's true, but that those are just rumors that are circulating.
I even heard a couple of days ago there was this guy Yoshi Matsuda who's coming in to Boston. Will be in Philadelphia and Pennsylvania. He'll be here toward the end of November, early December. Who knows? Maybe he'll show up in BCW for all I know.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised. And I certainly welcome all new faces to come into BCW. It's the perfect time to come in as we continue to grow. And yeah, our platform is bigger than ever. So I'd love to offer the chance to anyone out there who wants to come and showcase their talents to an audience who hasn't seen it before. So absolutely. I personally endorse new people coming in. I don't think Tsunami does. I'll tell you why. I don't think Tsunami
Why
does.
do you think he doesn't endorse new people coming in?
Well, because Tsunami, he's like I said, he's the guy who wants to take sole responsibility and sole credit. And with every single individual who comes into this company, there's less
Okay.
and less of an opportunity for him to take credit. There is less and less uh, of stuff and segments that he's involved in. He's needed a lot less, and as a result, he doesn't want that. He doesn't promote that. But guess what? Like I said, he calls himself the founder. He isn't around enough to have much pull. So since he's in his absence, BCW is going to do what it does. And he, don't get me wrong, he's an asset. He's a draw. People tend to gravitate towards what he does. Even if he's a gigantic piece of garbage, people still really like him. They still like watching him wrestle. My problem with Tsunami stems from the fact that he fails to acknowledge that other people deserve just as much credit as him, if not more.
And he returns here coming up, and it will be this Saturday, as a matter of fact. He's going to be here. He's going to be here this Saturday on BCW TV. I'm going to put up the BCW link. Mm-hmm. We'll have to find out there. So obviously that's where you stand, but you've got some other attention to focus on, and we're going to get to that in a few minutes or so. But I was also curious on a couple of things here in the sense that, I mean, Caden Gallows. I mean, where do you want to begin with that? I mean, obviously, I think everybody on Instagram is still reacting to kind of the way I reacted on Instagram about the whole thing about his, Sin's dead father. But even in your match, in a way, his music played and we didn't quite see it. And I will say hello to everybody in the chat. I see a number of people here in the chat. I promise you, I'm going to get to you. We're going to get to everybody in a few minutes. But I mean, what's your thoughts on this whole Caden Gallows situation and Sin and what we're going to see at Scare Slam coming up in a few weeks?
So Caden Gallows has also been a man who likes to intimidate his opponents, and now that's more true than ever. What Sin had done is, in my opinion, is Sin made the biggest mistake of his career when he attacked Caden Gallows, especially when he did it. He did it 1 week before his BCW championship match. Why would you do that? That is an idiotic thing to do. Why would you make yourself an enemy out of an ally who could have helped you win this BCW title? That wasn't a smart move on his part, but at the same time, I'm glad he did it because I have a tremendous amount of respect for Tommy Good, and I'm glad that he.
I was going to say, I mean, I think even Sin felt that what Caden Gallows was doing to Tommy Good was a little too far for him a few weeks ago, and that's kind of where Fallen is broken up.
And it absolutely was. I don't know if what you want to call it, a mid-run crisis, midlife crisis, whatever you want to call it. But that seems like that seems to me what Caden Gallows is going through right now. He came into the company. He was dominant. He was visceral. He was violent. And over time, that just kind of faded away a little bit. He made too many friends. He made that alliance with me that since he obviously shattered at the beginning of September to remember. So I feel like what happened is he realized he wasn't as good as he used to be. He wasn't the man he was when he beat me for the Hardcore Championship. I don't believe Caden Gallows even today could beat me for the BCW Championship. I just don't think that's a possibility. But yeah, I think that's what's going on. He realizes that he is not as good as he once was, not as dominant as he once was, and now he is desperately trying to claw back and get back to that point in his career.
But what do you think he could potentially do to Sin, though? I mean, I think could we very well be seeing the end of days of Sin, don't you think?
Oh, I definitely agree with you. Sin, I would, I'd be shaking in my boots a little bit if I was Sin. Being a friend of Caden Gallows, being a close friend of Caden Gallows, coming into BCW, debuting together. Obviously, they were very close. They had a very close bond, and it was shattered because Sin couldn't bear to see the atrocities that Caden Gallows was committing, and it was only going to get worse. He was not going to relent on Tommy Good, and when Sin tried to stop Caden Gallows from hitting Tommy Good, Caden Gallows said, "You know what? You do it." He shoved the chair in his chest. He slapped him. And he said, "You do it. You do it." And Sin couldn't bring himself to do it. I'm not a fan of Sin. I've had my fair differences with him in the past. But what can I say is he made the right choice in that moment. But now, as we go into Scare Slam 3, I think Sin better be on his A game, and he better ensure that he is ready to go to war. Because Caden Gallows right now, he is a man possessed. He is dangerous. As you saw last week, I didn't see him smile once. Not once.
I was surprised he didn't have the mask on. Usually, I was like, boy,
yeah,
I was surprised. I'm like, how is he going to pull this off? But then I think he wanted the world to see what he's going to do in a few weeks to Sin. I think that's basically what it was. I guess he was trying to not necessarily humanize himself, but he was basically wanting to let the world, this is my face. This is what I'm going to do next month. at Scare Slam and 3 Stages of Hell, and we're going to be looking at basically the very end of Sin. Let's just put it that way.
I mean, as I understand it, this match has the potential to be so severe and so damaging to company reputation if things go wrong. Who knows who could get hurt? Like you said, we could be looking at the end of Days of Sin. So I'm sure that they're going to have to end up signing some sort of agreement to agree that BCW has no responsibility in any of this. These are just two men going to war who absolutely now hate each other, just as me and NJN do. So these are just two men who are going to go to absolute war in Scare Slam, and I'm excited to watch it. But I'm also sure as the BCW champion, I'll be defending my title at that show. So I also know that I have to remain focused on what I'm doing. But yeah, Caden Gallows, you're absolutely right.
How do you do that, though? I mean, I'm curious. I know a lot of people want to say hello to you. I'm going to get to everybody. I want to thank some people. I have a bunch of plugs I'm going to get to. So there's a lot we're going to get to here on Sportswire very shortly. But I mean, with all this stuff happening, all these movers and shakers, more or less, in BCW, now we see the whole situation with Caden and Sin. Now we've got Tsunami coming back in and new here. So how do you stay focused then as champion?
So it's very simple. I see everything that's going on. I'm obviously in the company. I'm very active on the social medias. I see what's going on, but I have to remember, and sometimes I have to remind myself of this, why I'm here. I attained this BCW championship after 2 long years of not being in the main event scene, and now I understand what this meant to me back then, and that now it means even more to me. I have to hold on to the position that I claimed. I beat one of the most dominant champions of all time, and he was undefeated, and now I need to live up to the standard that he left of just never losing, of never staying down for that.
That's a hard thing to do, though. We talked about that man. We're going to get to him in about 10 or 15 minutes, but that's a hard thing for you to do there, Chip, because that man, we're going to get to him, though. I'm going to save my powder for that in about 10 or 15 minutes, but if you're here for the first time, go hit the sub button for my friends in BCW. They're not too far from us here in New York City. They're almost at 700 subscribers. They're only 6 away. So I want people tonight, if you're here for the first time, Ben Salem Championship Wrestling, go hit the sub button for them. They are almost there. I have a lot of people in the chat. I'm going to get to you. We have a big crowd. Maybe people are just saying, you know what, the Eagles lost this past weekend. You got the Mets right now losing. Let's go focus on some other things. Phillies aren't playing right now. But
it was a horrible weekend to be an Eagles fan, I'll tell you that.
I can imagine. Yeah, I'm sure Nick Sirianni is obviously on the hot seat, but that's a different show for a different time.
He definitely is. Yeah.
And he should be, but I'm not going to ask you about that. We've got our own things to talk about, but obviously, okay, so you're going to have to figure this all out very shortly in trying to keep yourself on top. But I asked you about being champion, the challenges that you're facing. You've had these open challenges. You've had these different things you've went through. Is that something you're going to continue more or less as we get down the stretch here, what's left in the year? Are you going to have a different approach now that we're seeing some new players that might be familiar faces coming back to BCW?
So I have a lot of history with Tsunami, who's returning, with NJN, who just returned, as we're going to get to.
We'll get to that in a few minutes.
So I just need to remember and to really remember why I'm the BCW champion. I know what I'm capable of. I know that I can go out there bell to bell and have a tremendous match, and I know that I can kick out of almost anything if my spirit's in it. And it absolutely is in it right now. Becoming the BCW champion, and really the catalyst for this was at Trampomania when NJM betrayed me. I became just invigorated with this passion that I've never felt before, and it's you'd think that was something that would die down or that would go away once I got this accomplishment of being BCW champion. But no, in many ways it's only intensified, as now I understand that there's pretty much everybody in BCW has a target on my back. They want this title. They want to be on Sportswire Radio. They want the glitz and the glam. But I
have a buddy I think who's out there. I just put his Twitch up, who connected with me for the first time in God knows how long. All of a sudden, he wants to be on Sportswire. Everybody seems to want to be on Sports. But yeah, you never know. I'll put the picture up if he's out there watching. If he gives me a signal, I'll put it up. But everybody wants to be on. But it obviously takes a lot to do these different things. But it's something that at the end of the day, I think you're the champion and you've got these responsibilities, and the best you can do is just go forward, and we'll see what happens certainly this Saturday, I think.
Mhm. Yeah, so I've been making it a mission to have more title defenses than NJN has. That was one of the biggest criticisms of his title reign, was that he didn't defend the title
Which
maybe
is a
as much.
big thing in BYW, by the way. There's some people that think you should defend the title every single day. Other people feel like that it should be an attraction. So it's, people have different schools of thought, if that makes sense.
I think it's definitely a mixture of the two. It's good to go out there and defend the title on a whim and do an open challenge every once in a while, freshens things up. It's great. I mean, the fans would love to see it. Like I did at the beginning of the month. I came out there and I said, you know what, the end of this month is too far away. I want to have a match this week. So that's what I did. I went out there and I got my match with Tommy Good. But people in BCW, it seems they don't like that. Caden Gallo's major issue with me was that I went out there and I had an open challenge when I already agreed that I would fight Sin for the BCW championship. Nothing was stopping me from fighting Sin for the BCW championship. His match was contractually locked in. We were ready to go. And Caden Gallows, he came out there. He speared me. He did something absolutely horrible. He destroyed our alliance, our acquaintanceship, friendship. It's very complicated with a man like Caden Gallows.
I had him on the show, and he's back here in a few weeks. I got a sense to see this man that I still don't know if he's human or not. I don't know.
No, me either. But yeah, so I'm definitely making it a mission to defend this title when it's appropriate. Have some open challenges, but also to know that this is a prestigious championship, and you can't just give a title shot to anybody. Like
I believe any championship is prestigious. I believe that they're all, prestigious. I think as we're here with Maxel Reeves, you see on his Instagram. I'm going to put that up actually. If you want to actually see Maxel, he's on Instagram. So if you're out there, give him a follow. He's obviously a man that, obviously Joe Hendry wanted to meet him, obviously because he's the BCW champion. Joe Hendry wanted to, everybody say his name, he appears. And even Joe Hendry's like, you know what? I have to go meet Max. I have to go get my photo taken with him, have to get my autograph, have to ask him for advice and trying to be a champion. So obviously, that's why we have Maxel here, because, we're going to have Joe Hendry on, but we turned him down. So obviously we wanted Maxel instead. But definitely give Maxel a follow. That's his page. We'll come back to that. Let me get to the chat. I got a bunch of plugs. I got a Twitch plug. I got a photo plug. I got a lot of things I'm going to plug here. So let me do a couple of those things. Yep.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Yep. Let's pull the YouTube back up, because I want to pull your BCW YouTube page. Plus, I got to give you guys something. Because the chat is popping right now. So let's keep it up that way. Thank you, Hillbilly Tilly, for sharing us on X. We have a lot of new people on X. Zilla has been pumped up for this. Zilla, I know, is in your company's chats, and she wants to say that you were her favorite wrestler. She said that on Instagram, by the way. Did you see that on Instagram? She said that you are her favorite wrestler. How do you feel about that?
Thank you very much, Zilla. You're a wonderful supporter of this channel, and I wish you nothing but the best. Keep watching. I'm going to go out there and continue performing for you. And for everyone else out there who likes me, I don't know if anyone likes me as much as you do, but I'm going to go out there.
I think there's a lot of people here. Listen, you got a lot of people here. I think there are people that like you. I don't know why would they, first of all, why would somebody not like you right now? Do you want me to do something? You want me to shoot on somebody? Is there a problem I should know about?
Well, I think definitely my actions in the past haven't helped me. I've done some regrettable things, like a lot of what I was involved with in the Masters of Brutality with NJN.
Well, that stuff on screen. Look, that's yes. If it's off screen, that's more on screen. Listen, everybody's got their moments, but off screen, if somebody don't like you, I'll address them. But okay.
And people in backyard wrestling might not like me because I'm a disruptor, and obviously.
Well, I know that I know. See, that stuff I know of. I know your stuff from your backyard wrestling shoots. But everybody, listen, Anthony Steele was here like 3 times in the past week. I mean, is there anybody that's more of a disruptor than him? I think Aaron Blaze is here. I mean, Aaron Blaze is known to be another guy. I mean, yours truly is known to be a disruptor. There's one promotion out there that the promoter thinks I'm a bully. And I'm like, is there anybody that's a bully than me? A man that is given charity, the man that is basically fed backyard wrestlers, a man that is basically going out and bought merchandise after merchandise. So
you are no bully, sir.
Exactly. So people really need to get their heads examined. But let's go and say hello to the people, because a lot of people want to say hello. Hit the sub button for our friends at BCW. Yes, there is management from WC. WC is after you at 9 o'clock. I'm going to take a break for a little while. I'm going to eat. I'm going to actually try to reclaim my voice, which I will. And we'll have one Mr. Bryson. He's like the total opposite of you. You're a professional, well-mannered champion who Joe Hendry asked advice for. Then we have Mr. Brightside, who basically his music ends with "That's life, that's life." That's basically him. So yes, I don't sing, but I tried my best. D'Angelo the Flame. Now he's not a disruptor, but he is one of the premier people in the backyard circuit and underground. And who knows? Maybe we'll get him in BCW. He's traveled north. Who the heck knows?
Definitely seen a lot of his stuff. I'm a big fan. If my DMs,
it would break the internet. If he was in BCW, that would break the internet. You know that, right?
I know it would break the internet. So that's why I think we BCW and D'Angelo LaFlame, or myself and D'Angelo LaFlame, I think we need to have some conversation. But
well, he's here right now. I'm sure that we can certainly arrange some of that there. We can definitely do that. But let's take this off the screen. And thank you, Hillbilly Tilly. He's got a few nice words I want to get to. Yes, hello to management and WC. We thank WC for their support over the past 2.5 years of Sportswire. We wouldn't be talking to Maxel if it wasn't for WC. And we're very happy. WCE, their last show, just generated almost 3,000 views. Really, it's really one of the greatest comeback stories in backyard wrestling history. There was a company a few months ago that was a punchline. Now, all of a sudden, they've rose from the dead. It's really, I think in sports history, you're going to look back and wow, WCE, an amazing comeback. I mean, really, we don't talk about the good in backyard, but WCE's amazing comeback. I mean, they lost somebody that meant a lot to them in Tim Mecca. Maybe the wrestling gods are smiling on WC, but I'll get to that later on. You're here first. Aaron Blaze is here, man. I know you know Aaron Blaze. He's got a few things to say. He's always got some good things to say, young Aaron. I'm going to get to veteran Aaron actually instead, but we'll come back to Aaron. I want to ask you about Aaron in a minute. Yes, hello to Tilly. Yes, D'Angelo says hello. We're behind in the chat. You have some comments. Let's get to. Oh, there we go. That's the comment I was looking for. So, maybe there will be a Trailblazer and a BCW after all. Have management hit me up. Never been on an Intercontinental Champion before. Never been an IC champ. We saw what happened in YBW this past week, and maybe Aaron Blaze is looking for new targets. I mean, but you guys, I would imagine, right, because you're in Pennsylvania, you have heard of each other, right? I mean, we know that.
Well, I mean, like I said this on the previous show.
I know.
As I'm aware, management and Aaron Blaze came to an agreement. We've got very, very, very far in talks with Mr. Aaron Blaze here. And last minute, things just fell through. Something didn't happen, and I don't know why that is. But if Aaron Blaze wants to come into BCW and want a shot at this BCW,
I think it's gotta happen. You guys are like so close to each other. He's not. I think even where he's moved, he's only a couple of hours from me. I mean, he's traveled to other places that's like 19 hours to get to. I mean, I don't understand. I mean, again, I don't know the business side of it, but I would just think to me this is a no-brainer.
I would have thought the same thing, but like I said, I don't know too many details of
Sure, I'm just
but what I will say is if he comes into BCW, I don't know if we're like I said, I'm going to be more selective about who I give my championship matches to. I have to be careful because
it'd be nice on the resume. He wrestled Jack Delta about 2 months ago. It'd be nice to obviously have him in BCW and wrestle him. I mean, I don't know the semantics of if it's a title or not a title match, but I mean, just to have a guy that's wrestled some really big names in our circuit, and I think that would be a pretty big feat, I would think.
I would think so too. There's a lot of history with me and Aaron Blaze like on social media. When I was the hardcore champion, he was hardcore champion. He was a hardcore champion of YBW, I believe.
Yes.
Or another company. I forget. It's been
He's had many championships, so I understand you need a scorecard to figure out.
Been a long time, but yeah. So we were kind of in a rivalry of who could be more hardcore, who could be more dominant in that field of wrestling. And yeah, there was always references of him coming into BCW, always hinting at that. If he wants to come in or a shot at my BCW championship, because now that is something I feel that he should earn and that everybody should earn. I'll do an open challenge every now and again, and it Blaze if he happens to be in the right place at the right time, who knows? But
you just never know. I mean, you guys could have asked Ledger Shade to show up. He just showed back, and he was on Sportswire. He was on Sportswire Friday. Then all of a sudden, he was back in TBW. I mean, some people are saying I'm responsible. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, I don't know. I wouldn't say that. I don't know about that.
You're a powerful man, Tom Bryce.
I don't know about that. My buddy Barry Gutman saying he's not a powerful man, but I do want to give Barry a nice little plug because Barry's been so patient. He is not a wrestling fan. He just plugged me on Twitch in the Discord chat room, but he's got a Twitch page. He's got 419 followers. If you're on Twitch, Give Barry a nice follow. Barry's also got a Facebook group called Amazing Candles. I've been sending the link out. Barry's got some candles that he wants to obviously sell. Halloween season's coming up. Barry is a long lost friend. We want to support those that support us. So thank you, Barry, for your support. That's your Twitch page, and everybody that wants to give him a follow, please go out there and do so. That's Barry's Twitch page. He needs 400. He needs 450 followers to get another level. He's at 419. So if you're on Twitch, Hardcore Gaming 2120. That's Hardcore Gaming 2120. Thank you very much, Barry, for your support, and I will definitely plug you again and a few other plugs coming up here. So we'll take this off the screen for now. Let's go back to some more comments. Caden Gallows, this time with a mask. Be careful with your words. Be careful with your words.
Caden, you could shut the hell up, all right? Like I just said. Like I was saying earlier, you are nothing but a man in the middle of a midlife crisis. And I'm sorry to tell you, but Sid's going to kick your ass on October 27th, and there's not a damn thing you're going to be able to do about it. You are a man at the end of his career that just started. Like, come on, man. You're nothing to me. You're nothing to Sin. You know what, Caden Gallows, I think you've been making all this talk that you're going to send Sin in home in a box. No, absolutely not. I think if anything, that's going to happen with you, Caden Gallows, because you are a man consumed by your own ego and by your former glory, and that is going to come back.
Well, what did you say though? But Sin did kind of turn on Caden Gallows in a way. He didn't do what he wanted. I mean,
yeah,
you don't agree?
No. Sin definitely did betray Caden Gallows. He turned Caden Gallows into a man possessed, but I don't know how much of that is showmanship, and I don't know how much of that is him actually wanting to go out there and be as brutal as he possibly can be. I'm the master of brutality. I know a lot about brutality. Caden Gallows has had, he's the hardcore champion right now. He's had some pretty hardcore matches, but what I'm looking to do is I want to see Caden Gallows. I want to see him go out there, and I want to see him honor what he said on Sportswire, honor what he said on BCW, and I want to see. You know what? Go. I don't know if I want to see it, but if Caden Gallows, if you are who you say you are, go out there and dominate at Scare Slam on October 27th. But if you're not, if you're nothing more than just a coward and a man who's all talk, then we'll find out that too.
Well, before I do anything, because I see Barry's in the chat, I promised Barry I'd do something because it actually shows that I actually have friends in the world. But there was me before. How about this, ladies and gentlemen? There was me before mutton chops and really long hair. That's me and Barry. Barry looks the same. I look totally ugly. But yes, that's me once upon a time. And now the world can make some funny jokes about it. But Barry, thank you for showing me the photo from like 2012. And yeah, there I was without the mutton chops. So I'm sure people can have some fun with that. Maybe that'll draw some more viewers. Maybe they'll get BCW some views. I still have something I want to give to you, so we'll definitely take care of that. But thank you, Barry, and I'll be careful with my images for sure. But let's come back to some more things. Sup, Gallows, Mr. Blaze, always a pleasure. Interesting conversation. Smack Up Sin, he's committed the biggest sin in his career. So Blaze and Gallows align. That's surprising to me, knowing Mr. Blaze and who his accomplices are in other promotions. But yes, we acknowledge Caden Gallows, but it's Maxel Reeves that is here. He'll be back on Sportswire, I think, in 2 weeks. I think 2 weeks from Thursday. Caden, is it 2 weeks from Thursday? But we'll figure that out then. Yes, ready to have fun. We bow down. Hillbilly Tilly's got some nice words there. Respect, Maxel. You display great confidence and are extremely well spoken, promoting yourself in BCW better than 90% of the pros. And I think that Hillbilly Tilly is a legend in our backyard circuit. He was one of those guys.
I've seen his stuff. It means a lot hearing that coming from him. So
he's a legend in the backyard circuit. So when we have somebody like him say that, he doesn't throw praise around. I know this man for a long time. He does not praise around. Barry Gutman might want to see me get made fun of, but Hillbilly doesn't throw praise too often. Yes, he says hello. Mr. Darkron's in the house. We hope Darkron's doing better. Darkron obviously, unfortunately, had to announce that he's stepping away for now from backyard wrestling and underground wrestling. He had an accident and he unfortunately had a problem with his fingers. He had two of them fingertips are unfortunately not there right now. So
I hope everything works out. And
he can get back to good man. He's a very good man. And speaking of people who are great friends, our friends in BTW. BTW's back in the house in 13 days from now with Comatose and RJS. What a match. I mean, RTG wins again. He with the triple threat match with Swift and BES and Jacob Frost and Steven Storm. And it's going to be BTW Day on Sportswire on the 14th of October, which is a Monday. So they're back here Monday night, 2 weeks now. Very excited about that. I was speaking with a lot of the guys in the locker room, and very excited. A lot of people tuning in. Maybe people are sick and tired of the Eagles. Maybe they're sick and tired of baseball. They want to see Maxel Reeves on this because Caden Gallows didn't have this electricity on Sportswire. Caden Gallows didn't. Maybe it was they wanted the mask. Maybe it was the mask being off that maybe generated less views. I don't know, but
I think so. I think people saw this guy without his mask, like, oh, that's hideous. What am I looking at? And they ran away.
Well, I got some comments though for you. Now you're gonna be facing the ringer here. NJN is a Roman clone.
Wow.
I don't know. The robe to me, but he's got a robe though. The robe. I'm gonna put the matchup in a few minutes, but he's got the robe on. Roman doesn't have the robe.
No. NJN has a few distinct differences from Roman, but I get what Mr. Ski 5 here is saying. He's saying that NJN is.
That was Craven Rage doing it. That's later on Sportswire at 9 o'clock. That was Craven Rage doing the Roman Reigns thing. Come on, show.
Well, I get what he's saying with NJN having a long title reign, but just because someone is dominant doesn't necessarily mean they're trying to be somebody else who's dominant.
Yeah, I mean that's BYW. There's a lot of people that listen. Mr. Judgment's been champion in DBW for almost 2 years. I mean, he doesn't look like Roman Reigns. I mean, Ledger Shade was champion for almost 2 years, and he's the complete opposite. I mean, I understand the point, but I do hope that you hit the sub button for me because I'm literally getting closer to 1,000 subs. Aaron, but speaking of people, wait a minute.
Oh, come on.
Former founder, quote unquote, general manager. Aaron Blaze versus the founder of BCW Tsunami is the real dream match. Let's say you, Maxel Reeves. There's Tsunami maybe usurping your momentum there. What do you say?
Tsunami can go back to the hole he crawled out of, and he doesn't even have to show up this Saturday. That's what I have to see. We don't need you, Tsunami. And quite frankly, I think that if Aaron Blaze is coming into BCW, maybe you're the man he fights to get an opportunity at this title. Because I know for a fact that you want this championship, and I know he wants this championship. So if you guys want to come in here and battle over who gets an opportunity at this BCW title, that's fine by me. I would love to watch you guys beat the shit out of each other for my amusement. That sounds wonderful for me.
You know what? Maybe Mr. Tsunami needs fire sometime. If he has something to get off his chest, maybe that'll be something that we can arrange. I don't think I'm a hard man to find. I mean, Barry would tell you that. I mean, but
Tsunami's quite a talker, so.
Well, we need talkers. He'll really tell you he's right because sometimes we don't get talkers on Sportswire and sometimes we get talkers. So the people, they'll tell you like if you can talk on Sportswire by what they think. So that would be an interesting conversation there. So when I'm done with Sin, I'll give you a hardcore match, Blaze. Well, he just went through, Dominic certainly did a lot to Aaron Blaze. I just saw on YBW TV, so that'll certainly figure that out. Tsunami, well, keep your phone on. I have a proposal. But he says then, Gallows, you suck. I mean, Caden Gallows has a proposal for Tsunami, but then Tsunami says that he sucks. That's kind of weird, don't you think? That's
yeah, it's really bizarre. Both of those gentlemen are real nutcases. I mean, I don't know. I'm glad I only have to see them when I wrestle them. Let's just say that. I'm glad I'm not friends with these people.
Well, you know what? I don't want to meet them in a darkened room, but let me get to some comments. Barry's having fun. We appreciate, yes, the Twitch Club, Hardcore Gaming, 2120, amazing candles. I'll send out more invites on Facebook. We'll plug it later. He said that, that's when when I was clean. Yeah, I'm not clean anymore, but that's what I have followers now. Back then I was in politics and didn't have any fans. Now I have fans, so I will like this. It's okay. It's all good. But I think it's a good time. I want to give you something because I want to get into that man that was just referenced a few minutes ago. So I think it's a good time for me now in the second half of the show to present you them. I promised when you were here last month that I would give something to BCW if BCW would reach 600 subscribers. Now, not only has BCW reached 600 subscribers, we're almost at 700 subscribers. And I really hope if you're here right now, cheap little plug, once again, winking a nod, that you go out and hit that sub button for our friends in BCW because they're just a handful of subscribers away from 700. But since we got to 600, I got a little something for you. Now, I know you're a champ. I know you're a busy man. You might be worried about somebody coming and attacking you, but I do have something that I would like to.
Do you know something, Tom? Is someone coming here to attack me right now? Do you know anything I know about?
I don't have those powers. I
right.
think Caden Gallows wants to do this in, but I do have something that I would like to present to you in recognition of maybe what BCW's done lately.
Oh, all right. Very nice.
You sure? I'm gonna put it up now, actually.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. Let's see what you got.
Congratulations, 650 subscribers plus on YouTube. We have hit that. We're almost at 700. So I promised you I would give you something. So you have reached that milestone. I want that for everybody in the locker room. So if you're in the locker room or not in the locker room, I want to thank you for all that you do for us for our sport. And I just want to say thank you and congratulations.
Thank you very much. Yes, this certificate means a lot. I've seen you give it to a lot of prestigious promotions.
Too many, some would say. Some people would say. One promoter in Indiana thinks they're devalued, but we believe in them still. So
well, yeah, I definitely still believe in them. I thank you for acknowledging our growth and our accomplishments, and I hope to get a lot more. I hope to get a lot more of these in the future.
I would like to give you a lot more. I hope you get more subscribers. That's the whole point. I mean, I'm about supporting people. I mean, my next comment will go along.
Maybe we can get 2 in one show if we hit 700 by the time we get out of here. Who knows?
You know what? I mean, I will put the plug up again. I mean, I will do my best. Yeah. Speaking of that, I do want to say hello to a man that's coming here in 2 weeks. I think he's here October the 19th. It's the man, the icon Jack Spade, who's back in Resurrection Wrestling. I understand. I think Justin Parsley is joining me for that show, Jack Spade. It's always good to hear you. I definitely am excited. I have some Resurrection Wrestling shows coming up on Sportswire, so I think Jack is the first one coming up. He's here on the 19th. I think Justin spoke to you about that, so very excited about that. Jack made his return to the ring a few weeks ago in Resi. Resi's worked very well with us on Sportswire, and yes, there you go. He knew about it. Yes, me too. I'm very excited about that. Jack is a good man. He's a good talker, and I'm excited because I think Jack's going into the Hall of Fame that day. So definitely excited about that. Very good stuff. That's fun. And I got to show Jack this picture real quick because Jack's going to love this picture, actually. Okay. I got to show it one more time. I know we'll get back to I want to put the matchup you just had, but I do want to put up this picture. For you, Jack, you're going to love this picture. It was for me and 18 million years ago, thanks to my buddy Barry Gutman in Brooklyn. And there you go. There you go, Jack. What do you think about that photo there? Well, maybe I should stay to the mutton chops, I hope, right? So that's me a long time ago. But
wow. It was a while ago. It's cool. Quite a while ago, it looks like.
It was, but I tell you what, I got the same build. I got the same face. Barry was even saying on his Twitch, but, you look good. You got these mutton chops. I'm like, yeah, well.
Hey, the mutton chops are the signature Thomas Bryce look. It's
you know what? I've had it for almost 6 years, and wow. I haven't seen Barry in 6 years. I think the last time we saw each other was in I think 2018. So there you go. But thank you for that. Thank you, Barry. But good stuff. Thank you, Jack. Good to see you. So, but I think it's time now to bring up your match that you just had. And it's important because we're going to get into that man that I want to spend time with for the rest of the show. So for those that are listening and watching on Sportswire Radio, we're going to get to it right now for the audience because a lot of people have viewed. I think when I first shared it on YouTube, it was like 370 views. And now the show is at like closing in on 500. So we're very excited about all that. But let's talk about it here. You had you and Sid, which is going to lead into that man. And talk about Sid and what your thoughts were on the match itself and everything else.
Absolutely. So I was the first person Sid faced when he came into BCW 78, and then I fought him again at 84, and then I fought him again at 101. So I fought this guy a couple times before, so I knew a little bit of what to expect. But every time you wrestle somebody, it's going to be a little different. And yet, like this time was like no other. What was really so he definitely gets better every single time I wrestle the guy. I'll tell you that he improves every single match that he has. And I don't give out this appraisal easily because I'm not a fan of the guy. But yes, he has gotten better. And this was by far, out of all the matches that I've had against him, the toughest one to secure the victory with, even with Caden Gallows' shenanigans.
I was going to ask you about that because it's funny you said that even despite what he was going through in terms of just the mental, I guess everything, the distractions and such.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, well, but the way I see it though is he had to have known who he was betraying the week before this match. He betrayed Caden Gallows, and Caden Gallows is a man who loves to play mind games, who loves to be ominous and to play all these sorts of tricks on his opponents, and that's exactly what he wanted to do during this match. I don't appreciate it at all, and I'll tell you right now, down the line, whenever Caden Gallows and Sin get done, whatever they have going on, I'm going to make Gallows pay for this because I don't want anybody's help in my matches at all in any regard. I want to continue building my championship reign to be what I know it can be, and to build my reputation and to continue gaining respect. And the only way I can do that is by having contests that are 100% fully valid, that don't have any shenanigans involved. With that being said, though, that wasn't the reason why I won the match. I won the match, based on my own volition and my ability to counter Sin's clothesline. So that's why I won the match. But I still am very angry at Caden Gallows for his involvement in this match. You have your match at Scare Slam. You should have left it to that. There's no need to get involved in my matches.
So you feel that had nothing to do with you, but you're a competitor and you have to go compete to keep your championship, correct?
Absolutely, 100%. Now this was the second match this month Caden Gallows got involved in. With the first match, he caused a disqualification. This one, he didn't do something as severe. Yeah, he still absolutely tried to affect this match to the best of his ability. And that's a lot of what you see out of people going through midlife crisis.
But midlife crisis is like somebody for James Taylor who's here tomorrow, who's older. He's not older. I mean,
I don't mean it in the sense of an age thing with Caden Gallows. He's a very young man.
When I was in high school, my science teacher, Mr. Pessin, talked about the midlife crisis. I was going through the midlife crisis, and he was like older. It was just like kind of funny that that was. But we see this, and that's leading into Mr. Gallows and such.
And you're going to see Mr. Gallows in just a second here as he's going to make an appearance. I'm
aware.
There he is. Yep.
See that? What did you think about that?
Gosh, I mean, like he works in mysterious ways. I don't know how he got there. I didn't see him, and then when I looked over there at the end, right before that replay, I didn't see him. So I have no idea where he went. I don't know what kind of supernatural hocus pocus he has going on over there. But like I said, I don't want it anywhere near my matches. Keep it away from me, Caden Gallows. I don't need it. I don't want it. I don't care if I'm fighting a man who you're also feuding with. I don't care. Like you see here, Sin gets a little distracted. He goes out and he's going to go try to find Caden Gallows, who just went missing. But yeah, Caden Gallows needs to learn to mind his own business, stay in his own lane, if you will. So yeah, that's exactly what Caden Gallows needs to keep in mind, especially when he knows damn well that I'm capable of beating him and I'm capable of really hurting him, and I'll do it again as soon as he gets done with Sin.
But Sin also, you talked about this midlife crisis, but as a competitor, you're in a world title match. He should have not let the distraction get to him, right?
Absolutely, and that is exactly why I said it is his own fault. He did this to himself. He made the decision that Tommy Good's health and wellness was more valuable than his own career. That's the way I see it. And listen, like that decision. I mean, maybe Tommy Good isn't here with us if he didn't make that decision, but that's a choice he made and a choice he's going to have to live with. He obviously didn't secure the BCW title. Wasn't even necessarily the fault of Caden Gallows, but he was definitely distracted. I mean, his priorities were out of order. He was in the biggest match of his career against me, an opportunity to win the world championship, to really embarrass me, winning the BCW championship in only my second defense. But obviously I didn't let that happen, and I'm never going to let that happen.
I have to make you laugh in one sense. So we just saw the pool shot just before there. Why couldn't you keep the pool open one more week so you have the pool shot in the pool?
Well, I mean, it actually is open there. It just has that nice little covering to it actually.
Well, I mean, if the pool's closed, the covering's on. Mm-hmm. I don't necessarily know if the pool's open to dive into the water. Was my point.
Well, what that blue covering? So during the winter, we have like more of a green or a brown tarp that covers it more permanently.
Yeah, because you want to protect the water and all that other jazz and with the water.
But that blue covering, what that's designed to do is you can actually get in the pool. The water's still there, and you can just move it over. What that's designed to do is to attract sunlight toward the pool to actually warm the pool up. So that's why that's there. So if I really wanted to, I could have drowned this man. But I'm a little bit more compassionate.
That's Caden Gallows' story.
Yeah, I think that is Caden Gallows' story. I think that's, I think I might have just gave him the idea. So I'm sorry about that.
Well, we were talking about my cemetery that I live next to across the street, and I think he seemed interested in that when he was here.
He did seem very interested, but
but I don't know. That's giving bad ideas. But you are obviously dealing with some things here in the match a little bit. We'll certainly get to what I want to end the show with in a few minutes. But I have some comments. We'll say hello to everybody. But is there a concern when you keep wrestling as much as you are that you're going to deal? You talked about injuries last time you were here. How are you dealing with right now some of the injuries you had before you won the title?
So, my arm seems to still be in pretty good spirits, but it can be re-aggravated. My doctor, I've been to more doctor's appointments than I would have liked to in the past month or 2 months. But yeah, it seems like I'm all good to go still. but yeah, no, my arm was I definitely came back before I should have. But that's at least what the doctors tell me. I mean, but look
Yeah,
at what I
we
have
had
here on my
D'Angelo.
shoulder.
Well, funny you said that. We're talking with Maxel Reeves, who's the BCW Pro World Champion. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce. You have voice figuratively and literally, where all wrestling matters. And if you are here on Sportswire Radio, please go and hit the sub button for us. We're now almost at 1,000 subscribers. But it's funny because D'Angelo was here and he sort of is coming back from an injury. And, he was told he could come back, but the process was I don't know. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know. It sounded to me like maybe he should have waited, but then again, he waited anyway. Could he have waited another month to be fully healed? I don't know enough. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm only a notary in real life. But I mean, it's funny that you said that in the senses. So even now, wrestling as much as you had, you're not worried about re-aggravating any injury going forward here.
It's always a possibility. It's always something I have to watch and be concerned with. But I have great doctors, and they keep me in good spirits. They keep me in good shape. They always make sure that I'm not doing too much. But you're definitely right. I'm going to take that concern into account in my matches, because if something were to happen to my arm where I'd have to be out for 2-3 months, I'd have to obviously relinquish this title, which would break my heart. So obviously, you're right. I do have to be very careful, especially coming off a recent injury. And NJN is somebody who I think is going to try to re-aggravate that injury, as he tried at Hardcore Heat. He's somebody that's definitely going to try to put me out of commission any means necessary. He's someone who has this deep hatred for me. So I'm really, as we go into things with NJN, who returned, this past week, that I'm going to ensure that no matter what, if anybody's getting injured, it's going to be NJN. I'm going to make sure that is not going to happen to me again. He is not going to take any more time off my career. And quite frankly, he will not take this BCW championship that I worked hard for.
No question about that. And I do want to get to some comments because I want to talk about NJN, the man I've been waiting for the rest of the show. So let me at least run to some people. Yes, Jack loved the post. James Taylor, who is here tomorrow night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern time. James is here. We'll talk ROEW. We'll talk about some other different things like Ledger Shade, things like that. Caden Gallows wants to say it's so funny how stupid the vulnerable are. I guess he's referring to Tommy Good and Sin, maybe, right?
Who knows what the hell he's referring to? The guy speaks in riddles and thinks it means.
Hey, listen, he's back in a couple of weeks on Sportswire, so I definitely want to make sure that I am on my best behavior with him, especially. So I don't want to join, let's say, Sin in the cemetery across the street from me, although some people might want that. I want to say hello to Taffy's Lounge. They're closing in on, 1,500 subscribers, so thank you for that. I do want to give a big shout out to my buddy Abraham Storm. Abraham is here Thursday afternoon. We have another matinee on Sportswire. He's here Thursday afternoon. He's here, I think, 4 o'clock. He's here 4 o'clock Thursday. Good to see you, Abraham. Very excited about that. Caden wants to say, I'm everywhere. I'm in Sin's walls. I'm in your head. That's your weakness and vulnerability. Okay, but that's nothing to do with you, so I'm going to leave that at that. Hi to CSW. Yes, hi to him. Okay, good stuff there. We'll obviously get to some of that, but let's fast forward a little bit in the match because I want to get to the topic that everybody's been waiting for. So obviously, we're here in the match, and you've worn down Sin quite a bit, but you kind of gloved your hand a little bit there. But you guys are obviously fighting it out like the warriors you are.
Yep, absolutely. So, I believe at this time you can't really hear the audio, but the music, Caden Gallows' music began to play yet again.
I couldn't play. I got to be honest. The music, I don't know if it's a copyright thing because I had Ledger Shade on Sportswire on Friday. And he had so many songs that it took me a day to re-upload the music. I don't know if you guys have a music from if it's copyrighted or not. So
all of our songs are actually uncopyrighted. So that's one of our priorities in the music department is to make sure that the music we're using is uncopyrighted, because if we ever become monetary, that would be a major issue.
Yes, absolutely. And yes, when you have the wattage hours, it is a major thing. So you want to make sure it doesn't affect your page and all that stuff. Yes, good stuff. Okay, but we definitely didn't play it, but I'm sure I want to definitely get to Mr. NJN in a minute. But you obviously use some of your ability there, some nice little ring work there, some nice agility, some nice athleticism. And obviously, certainly Mr. Sin is feeling that. He's definitely in Sin. He's living in Sin basically right now.
Yes, he is. So yeah, I mean, like I said, he's a valiant competitor. It took a lot to put him down. I was surprised that he kept kicking out and he kept fighting on, but I'm glad he did there. I tried to hit.
And you're back right there. What happened?
Yeah. So
Clutching it back.
I tried to hit the Pano driver, but earlier in the match, I landed on my back several times. Like even on the outside of the ring when I hit Sim with the kick, that was my own fault. So that's just a matter of me, being cautious and staying careful. As here, we're going to see the end of the match, how it ends. I almost lost my BCW title right here. So he takes out my leg as I picked him up. I wasn't cautious enough. He maybe played a little bit of possum, and then here he hits me with his finisher, the Sin City. So at this moment, my lights were out for just a second, and then the adrenaline and the motivation kicked in right here. And then I was like, nope, instinctually, with the muscle memory, I had to kick out. I knew
you had no choice. The run would have been ended right there if you didn't kick
absolutely.
out.
I couldn't allow that to happen. Like I said, at this point in my career, there's nothing I'm not willing to do to keep this on my shoulder. So, and then here he's going to try to hit me with a clothesline again, but then I had one of my two finishers on him, and that was the end. I didn't want to hit the other finish on him because my back had been damaged by.
You showed it a minute ago. Yep. You found a way. You retained the championship, and still the BCW champion, the one and only Maxel Reeves.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. So it was awesome to get a nice, successful title defense that Caden Gallows deprived me of in the earlier in the month when he caused the disqualification. But now, as you see there, I'm your reigning BCW champion, still proudly on my shoulder, and as it's going to be. Whenever you see me on this show, you best believe that you're going to be able to see a title on my shoulder. So that's
good for business. I mean, it's good for Sportswire, and I definitely want to acknowledge that. And Mr. Cron had a good point. Before I get to it, his brother has a band, Matthew Forsaken, so they own the music, which is great.
Very nice. That's awesome.
But wait a minute.
Yep.
Wait a minute. Is that who I think? Is that who I think?
Unfortunately, it is. Yep. It's NJN. So he makes.
Yeah, we're gonna go like that.
So yeah, he makes his entrance to the ring, and he confronts me finally after coming out of his little hidey hole after a month, probably wallowing in self-pity. But then here, what he does is he unveils his own title, and here's what I think. Here's my hypothesis. A lot of people have been confused by this.
I want to hear this.
Why is he wearing this? Here's my hypothesis. From what I know, and I know this man better than anybody. This is a man whose entire personality is that he is the BCW champion. And I stole that from him. Now that's me. I am the BCW champion. I have more facets to my personality than just being a champion. He doesn't. His only characteristic, his only personality trait is being BCW champion. And I stole that from him, and he hates me now more than he ever has.
But you won the championship. He's coming out with a belt. I mean, this is just why? Why do you think he's coming out with a belt?
I think he's delusional. I don't think he can accept the fact that
that's obviously delusions of grandeur. We would all agree. And by the way, we got another subscriber. So if you're here,
very nice. Thank you to whoever that wasn't here. So thank you.
We say hello to our friend DD, who's out there, our lovely friend. I hope that DD is doing very well. And thank you for tuning in. But I mean, he's not the champion, though. You're the champion.
He's absolutely not. I'm the champion, and I think it's disgusting, absolutely disgusting, that this man can't even give me the benefit of the doubt, can't even give me the win over him, which I deserve. I've been congratulated a lot since I won the title. People are saying, that you've defeated this man of such a magnitude that is really transcended a lot of what we've seen in backyard and professional wrestling. You don't see that often. 818-day reigns don't come every day.
No.
And I defeated him for that title, and you think what any good man would do, what any decent, respectable human being would do, is they would be able to look at themselves and say, you know what? There was a better man than me today. NJN can't do that. He can't admit that there's a better man than him.
But essentially, him coming out with a belt is just
it's blasphemy.
It's bizarre. It's bizarre. It's just a bizarre. I don't know if I've seen it to this degree. A man who lost a match. It's one thing if you hadn't lost the title and you recognize yourself as the champion. Okay, I get that.
Yeah, but, like CM Punk did when he had to relinquish the title in AEW.
Exactly.
And he came back. Exactly.
He lost the title.
He lost 1,000.
Championship belt.
It's on footage. We got it. We went over it
last
time. Last time I was on Sportswire.
You were here last month.
Everybody saw it. I don't understand it, but what I think is after that match, he buried that as far as he could in his mind, and he doesn't even think that he doesn't even want to recognize that Hardcore Heat happened. He doesn't want to recognize that me beating him for his title happened. But guess what? It clearly did. He has a different title now around his waist because the real BCW championship is on my shoulder.
Yeah, you wrestled him. We put this footage up last time, and He lost the match. I just don't
He did.
understand.
He did lose the match. We're about to get to it pretty soon here. Yeah, he lost the match. I hit him with my panel driver, 1, 2, 3, and that was the end of it. That was the end of NJN as BCW champion. Maybe he could have came back out and said, "Hey, I want a rematch for my championship." He didn't do that. What he resorted to was delusion. He refused to accept it, and I promise you right now that I'm going to make sure that I'm already discussing with management that I'm going to make sure that this man is going to stop his lies, stop his fallacies, and he's going to acknowledge me as his BCW champion.
All right, let me ask you, though, this. He didn't say anything. Is there at least, let's go with the angle that maybe he's here to just say thank you for all that you've done? And, I mean, he hasn't spoke. So,
yeah,
are we maybe thinking this out too much?
Well, so our own residential BCW interviewer, Dick Hazmat, he said he's the guy who does like the backstage stuff, the backstage segments that are like after matches and stuff. He does those types of interviews. What I've heard from him is he told me that he attempted to get an interview with NJN after September to Remember after he returned, and NJN immediately he cursed him out and he says, if you post this footage, I'll have you fired, and he walked out. That's all I know. NJN does not want. He can't talk right now because guess what? The second anyone is going to talk to them, what are they going to say, Tom? They're going to say, "What's this BCW championship? You lost your title to Maxel Reeves," and he doesn't want to acknowledge that ever happened. He wants to pretend like this is day, however, of his reign, when in reality it ended at 8/18. So, that's so. As you're going to see here, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. He doesn't kick out. Nope. Yep. It's over. I mean, I didn't see a kick out. Maybe his shoulders are still down. So,
I don't know what I mean. Was there an alternate ending to this? Am I missing? It's like a nugget version that this is the AI version.
I mean, maybe he thinks this AI. Maybe that's the angle he's going. Maybe he's going to try to claim this was AI. But
that's Atomic Titan did that on Sportswire like 2 months ago. I mean, we already went through that on Sportswire. I mean,
well, we definitely don't need it again. But NJN is a delusional.
Yeah, well, a lot of people complained to me that I was encouraging AI Atomic Titans, so that was definitely not thing. But but again, watching it, we're gonna watch it one more time. I'm gonna watch it one more time. I'm gonna go with this one more time. So there you go.
Make sure right on the chair there. Yep, and then I go for the cover. One,
2, 3.
It's over. I don't understand what.
I don't know what am I looking? What am I blind? Am I something else? And
no, Tom, I don't think you're blind. I think the one who's blind is NJN, and a little crazy. But that's what I think. That's my perspective on that.
I understand for sure. I mean, that's obviously one thing, but I do want to plug a couple more things because guess what? You guys got 2 more subscribers, and I want to thank my buddy Barry Gutman for that because Barry just gave you 2 subs from his YouTube page. So you're at 690. Nice. Congratulations on that. And one more time, I got to plug Barry because I want to come back to NJN in a minute, but I do want to plug Barry also because he's got that Twitch page of his that he's trying to get to 420 views. So please go out there and support Barry. Barry's on Twitch right now as we speak. So if you want to hit him up, he's playing Supermarket Shop or Supermarket Simulator. So if you want to go and watch Barry on Supermarket Simulator, he's on Twitch right now. Go support Barry.
After this.
Yeah, give him a follow. He's also got an Amazing Candles page on Facebook. We want to get some supporters there. Yours truly is a part of that. We got like almost 100 members in 2 days. I'll probably get him more members. He's a good friend. He needs something. And Zilla, make sure you support. You always support, but that's okay. So NJN, you just told me that Dick tried to get words from him, but we still don't know. I mean, what's his contract situation? Do you think we would see NJN maybe, let's say, this Saturday, possibly? Like, what do you think from that standpoint? What's next?
So, I've asked management after he returned. I said, "What's the deal with NJN? What's going on?" And what they told me is that they're not exactly sure what's going on. They told me what I suspected was true, and that he claims to them that he never lost the BCW championship. And
we just saw the match like 14 different times, 2 appearances on.
I know.
So I don't understand.
That's what he says. That's his BCW management. They recognize me as BCW champion, rightfully so, because I defeated him for the title. But actually, Tom, I do have an announcement.
Wait. You have an announcement?
I do. I have an announcement. I would love to announce it right here on Sportswire Radio for everyone to hear.
By all means, please do so. We're in prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage. I mean, we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so please go ahead.
So I just got the contract in the mail today, and I can tell you that I'm going to definitely sign it on my end. BCW Scare Slam 3, rematch of the century. It'll be Maxel Reeves defending the rightful my BCW championship against NJN in the main event of 3. So be there October 27th, and you're not going to want to miss.
Repeat that one more time for the audience.
Yes, October 27th, Scare Slam 3. You're going to see me put an end to the myth that is NJN. That is exactly what I'm going to do.
The rematch.
Yes.
The rematch at Scare Slam. Oh, my God.
Yep, it's happening, and I'm going to tell you right now. So I've been talking about when to give someone a championship match. NJN, he held the belt for 818 days, and when I saw him come out and when I saw him claim to management that he was still the champion, which is illogical, I said, you know what? I'm going to give this man a match right away because I'm going to show this man that I can beat him and that I can do it easily and I can do it again and that my win was no fluke. And I'm going to show people that Maxel Reeves surpassed NJN for being the premier wrestler in BCW.
Oh, my God. You are wrestling NJN again.
Yep, that's correct. It's like I said, I'm pretty sure he still has to sign his contract, but I'm sure he will because I'm sure he wants to be.
You sure he would though?
I do think so. Because I think at the bottom of his heart, and he knows the truth, and he's just trying to convince other people otherwise. He knows the truth. He knows that his shoulders were down. He knows that he lost his title to me, and I think he will sign that contract that he got in the mail today because he's going to sign that contract because he is a man who wants to chase all the success he can get. And right now he doesn't have any. He has a title that he lies and says that is his success, but it means nothing. He just grabbed it, put it on, and said, I'm the champ. No, you're not. I am the BCW champion. And at Scare Slam 3, I'm going to show him why.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Scare Slam 3 for that BCW World Heavyweight Championship. It's the master of brutality, Maxel Reeves, against the man that was champion for over 800 days, 2+ years, NJN, who, in his mind, I guess we could say still thinks he's the world champion. I mean,
he's delusional, and I'm going to put an end to that at Scare Slam 3.
Oh, I could certainly see that you want to talk about delusion there, and I mean, who knows there? But I do want to give myself one more plug because I am sponsoring an event here coming up. It is the Soul of South Brooklyn Music, October 27th. At the Shorefront Y on Coney Island Avenue. I am sponsoring it because it's an event for music. It's for the community there. It's for the Russian community in Brooklyn, and I am supporting that alongside some other different people that they've given me the opportunity to, support and such. There's a singer, songwriter, a bunch of other great people, and my logo's there, so I appreciate the support, and I support anybody out there that's supporting the community. So that's that. You have the event there. And we look forward to that. One more time, we'll put that up. That's going to be taking place on, boy, what a strange coincidence. It's on the same day you're going to be having your big title match, October the 27th. What a strange coincidence. But I'll be tuning into BCW because I actually won't be going. I'll just be sponsoring. Okay. I'm tuning in. Don't worry. I got to make sure I'm there because Zilla's going to be in the chat. I got to make sure Zilla. I want to see Zilla. Zilla revealed her face. Did you hear about that a couple weeks ago? Did you hear about this?
I didn't hear about this at all. Was this true?
Zilla was on Jack Delta's stream 2.5 weeks ago, and she revealed herself. She's a real fan. She's from Georgia. She knows all the rest, and she's like really a wrestling fan. I'm trying to get Zilla to take over for me on Sportswire, but she won't do it. I'm trying, but it ain't gonna work out. Maybe Didi will take over.
Maybe she could be your partner in crime. You know what I mean?
Nah, I think Zilla. If Zilla comes on, the ratings will go up. Forget about it. Forget about it.
Zilla.
But Tsunami's got something to say before we move on to end the show. Hello, Zilla. I don't know why you support the soon-to-be former BCW champion. It's quite confusing. Why don't you accept the greatness I exhibit like the rest of the BCW fans? What do you think about that? Is that delusion to you or what?
I don't know about delusion, but I'll tell you it's ego. Definitely a little bit of delusion with him saying that soon-to-be former BCW champion. That's not happening. This title staying here for the foreseeable future. So Tsunami, he is an egotistical maniac. And all he wants is the love and adulation of the people. That's all he wants. And quite frankly, if he can't get that, he isn't anybody. So just like NJN isn't who he is without a championship, Tsunami isn't who he is without respect and without love and without praise and without glaze, if you will.
Well, we could certainly use the ladies, but I'll move away from that comment. But I'm the biggest draw in BCW. People are practically begging on their hands and knees for my return this Saturday. He is coming back this Saturday. Episode 110. What do you think on that?
I'll be at BCW 110.
You
I'll
will
tell you,
be. Yes.
I will be. I don't know if NJN will be, but I will be there. I don't know yet what's going to happen, or if management wants me to come out there and make a statement. I'll do whatever. But what I will say is, if Tsunami, if you want to have a conversation at BCW 110 backstage or on the camera in front of everybody, you can have a conversation. If you have something to say to me, say it to my face. That's what I'd say.
Wow. So you're inviting Tsunami to have a chat with you or a conversation coming up.
Absolutely, because he talks his game. He talks his game on the internet, and in person, he'll probably do his same thing. But what really is going to happen is, whenever me and Tsunami inevitably and eventually face off for this BCW championship, what's going to happen is what happened to Sin. It's what's going to happen is what happened to NJN. Maxel Reeves is going to stand victorious, and the other man that I beat is going to sit there humiliated and embarrassed.
Are you still NJN's worst nightmare?
I am still NJN's worst nightmare, and I think now it's more true than ever. As now, I am what he wants to be. He is aspiring to be Maxel Reeves. He's aspiring to be what he once was. In a way, he was aspiring to be the BCW champion, and he is no longer that, and he can't accept that. So in his mind, he just convinces himself that he is. He's a delusional prick, and I promise you that I am going to end NJN.
Wow, a word I haven't heard in quite a while, and heavy stuff. Heavy words. And yes, Abraham Storm is here Thursday afternoon. Very excited about that. We've got 2 big shows on Thursday. I'm here with Abraham Storm, then I'm here with the TBW guys later on in that evening. Very, very excited about that. That's Maxwell's Instagram page. Please give him a follow. Congratulations to BCW Pro on 650. We're almost 700. So what would be your final words tonight, whether it's for NJN or anything else you want to share before we close the show?
So my final words tonight is, anyone who here who's in chat, I'd invite you to stay up to date on BCW. We have a lot of great stuff coming up, a lot of stuff planned that I maybe can't talk about just now.
Yes, don't do that, because we famously had wrestlers talk about that. We really want to keep that. So we keep it kosher on Sportswire.
So to the people watching, I'll say stay tuned. We have tremendous stuff coming, and if you put your faith in us, we are going to deliver every single time. And what I have to say to Tsunami and to Caden Gallows, if you want a shot at my championship, you can compete for it, you can fight for it, and you can earn it. And what I want to say to NJN is you are delusional, and I am the only man who knows how to beat you. As we saw at Hardcore Heat, and as you're going to see again, I'm going to force you to face the reality that you're not the BCW champion, and that the man you want to be is sitting right here with my BCW championship.
Oh my God. If this is not a reason to tune into this coming BCW episode 110 on Saturday, I don't know what is. You certainly need to support BCW. They're almost at 700 subscribers. You need to go hit them up on Instagram. Maxel's on Instagram, Maxel Reeves. You are going to be in a treat. I can't wait for Scare Slam 3, and we're going to see it once again. NJN and Maxel Reeves for the BCW championship. The current and true champion, Maxel Reeves, is going to show why, once again, he may very well be that master of brutality. And you're going to certainly want to tune into that one. I can't wait for Saturday. I'm excited. Very excited. Tsunami's back. Caden Gallows is going to be planning something crazy. So really, really excited about what's ahead here. And yes, Zilla has revealed her face. That's Zilla's face.
Nice.
It's funny. Zilla sometimes puts the photo up without the mask, and then she puts it there. So she definitely doesn't channel her inner Caden Gallows, but she does at the very least give us something for a reason to keep us on her toes, or our toes. Thank you very much for that. Okay, it's time to give you the floor. Time to give you closing thoughts. Anything else we missed? I'll let you.
No, I think we got pretty much everything. I just want to reiterate to everybody that BCW Scare Slam 3 is going to be our biggest show ever. And I can assure you, we're going to have more matches on that card than we ever have. It is by far, on paper and in reality, it's going to be our biggest show ever. So to this point, obviously Championmania 3 is coming up next year, and you got a lot of other important stuff in our calendar. But to this point, it doesn't get bigger and it doesn't get better than BCW Scare Slam 3, and you're not going to want to miss how things unfold on BCW this October.
I am excited. We're obviously on that road starting this Saturday. All BCW shows air at 6 o'clock Eastern time, so please go out there and check them out. You can see it here. The BCW following is certainly right there. You've seen a lot of stuff. Some of our stuff is on here. So really excited about our friends in BCW. Please go out there and support them. And it's always about All Wrestling Matters, and we definitely support our friends. And we congratulate BCW also one more time. I'll make sure that the certificate is presented to you guys off the air. And next time we'll see Caden's next, and we'll have 700 by then. So obviously, on the certificate, though Caden will be the presenter. Hopefully, he'll make sure to pass it along to management. But
yeah, I hope he does. I don't know.
I hope he doesn't use it for I don't know, maybe kerosene or something, or just death. Who knows? But we'll leave that at that. Congratulations on the success. We're always looking forward to talking with people who are doing good things. BCW is doing that. I look forward, Champ, to seeing you soon. Congratulations on all your success. And I'm very much excited to see what's in store between you and NJN. And we'll definitely talk with you soon. Keep up the good work, and congratulations.
Thank you very much. Sounds great.
All right, that was Maxel Reeves, the master of brutality. He is the reigning defending world champion of BCW Pro. They're going to have their newest episode up here this Saturday, 6 o'clock Eastern Time, 1:10. You're going to see Tsunami. We'll see if NJN is there. You'll see Caden Gallows, hopefully. Tommy Good. Who knows? He'll be alive. But the facts are check out everything that they have for our friends in BCW. And as a reminder, I'll be here in a little over an hour, Zilla. I'm back with Mr. Brightside of WCE. Boy, you ain't going to want to miss that one. It's going to you on that one. But until then, please support BCW. Thank you to everybody tuned in. If you're here for the first time, definitely hit us up. Tsunami, maybe if you want to come on Sportswire, we can talk about that. Obviously, also hit the sub button for us. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers. They're almost at 700. I'm almost at 1,000. Let's help out those that help each other. All Wrestling Matters. And until then, I'll see everybody in a little while. My name is your voice, figuratively and literally, where All Wrestling Matters, the Reverend Tom Bryce, and I'll talk